Hey, welcome back to the Uncomfortable is Okay show. I am your host, Chris Desmond. This is where we make you better at doing hard things through getting out of your comfort zone. Today, again, I'm chatting in regards to strategies to help you get uncomfortable. And this is one of the strategies that's going to be in the Get Out of My Comfort Zone book that is available at the end of the year. So today, it's all about developing a growth mindset. So what is a growth mindset? People with a growth mindset believe that their personal qualities can be improved by learning and effort. The ability to improve a certain skill, which also includes the ability to increase our intelligence, to change our personality towards who we want to become, and basically just get better at life. So this is the opposite of a fixed mindset. And people with a fixed mindset believe that their personal qualities are set in stone and can't be changed at all. And people with growth mindsets are more likely to work through hard challenges because they believe that they can change and that they can adapt to them. Whereas people with fixed mindsets are more likely to give up when things get tough because they believe that their qualities are fixed and insufficient to get them to the other side of the challenge. Thankfully, you can develop a growth mindset with learning and effort. But the trick here is not to be fixed in your mindset about this. So, where do I apply it? This is a mindset or a perspective to adopt, so it should be with you at all times, ready for use. And you can utilize a growth mindset both in the short term and in the long term to take on any challenge. Approaching a short-term challenge with a growth mindset might allow you to think, I'll learn something here, or I'll be more resilient after this. Whereas viewing a long-term challenge from a growth mindset helps you understand that over time, you're going to be able to gather the knowledge and develop the skills and the qualities that allow you to succeed in this challenge. And most people, unfortunately, are unable to just switch from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset straight away. They can't just flip a switch and away you go. It takes time to train this new mindset and new perspective around challenge. But the interesting thing is that you might have a fixed mindset in some areas of your life and have a growth mindset in others. So for example, I have a growth mindset in terms of what I can accomplish physically. I'm happy to get out there. I know that I can go and train for something and that I can adapt. My body will change in response to what it is that I'm doing and what it is that I'm learning. I can get faster, I can get more muscular, I can improve my cardiovascular endurance. And until recently, I had a fixed mindset about my musical ability. I didn't think I could change it. I thought it was just poor. And now, while I might never make it as a professional musician, and to be honest, I probably won't, so don't look for any upcoming albums, I view this as a skill or a muscle that I can train. So how do I train this mindset? And one of the first things to do is to acknowledge that the brain can change. And thankfully, there's been a lot of scientific research recently around the concept of neuroplasticity, so the plastic or changeable nature of our brain and nervous system. And that shows that no matter what age we are, the brain and nervous system adapts to new stimulus. So as we learn a new skill, it physically alters ourselves, just like lifting weights gives you bigger muscles. Once you've accepted that you can change, the training really begins. So one thing you can do is to praise the effort that you put in. Development of a growth mindset is about focusing on the process as a learning or growth opportunity. And the outcome at this stage is kind of irrelevant. So using phrases like, I'm really proud of how hard I've worked on this, can help develop this aspect. Another way to do it is to utilize different strategies, because sometimes working harder isn't the best approach, especially if you aren't getting any closer to the end goal. If you try harder but keep repeating the same mistakes, frustration isn't going to be far away. Instead, ask yourself, how could I do this differently? And looking for new approaches is a great learning opportunity. Another way to train is to focus on the learning. Adopting a focus on learning has been proven to enhance a growth mindset, which is kind of what you would expect. And a question to ask yourself at the completion of any task is, what did I learn from this? And taking a minute or two to answer this highlights all the ways that you've grown during the process. And that's Connor hanging out in the background as well. Seek out feedback. Actively seeking out constructive feedback is a great way to learn and grow. But try and get it from someone with insight to the area that you're working on. Maybe don't ask your accountant to critique your technique on throwing a ball. And some of the questions that you can ask when looking for feedback are, what did I do well? And what could I do differently next time to improve? Choose difficult tasks. Choosing difficult tasks is really what this book is all about. Each time you choose a difficult task, you give yourself the opportunity to learn something new. You face a challenge and you're required to develop skills to overcome it. And finally, set high standards. Setting a high target for what you're trying to accomplish creates the circumstances for you to push your limits. It gives you the opportunity to go further than you think you can. And it doesn't really need to be the 10x challenge that we've talked about already, but you might just add another 10% above what you think you can do. So why does this work? A growth mindset creates the mental framework for us to view the uncomfortable as an opportunity for improvement. If we equate discomfort as an opportunity, we see the positive outcomes that may come from it, as opposed to focusing only on the potential negatives. With a focus on the positive possibilities, we're much more likely to step into the uncomfortable and get started. So that's a strategy from the Get Out of My Comfort Zone book that's coming out later this year. If you want to go register your interest for it, head over to getoutofmycomfortzone.com. I'll keep you up to date with how the book is going, I'll send you through a couple of the draft chapters, and as well as hooking you up with some sweet deals on the book when it does come out. Thank you so much for getting uncomfortable with me today. Make sure to head out there and develop your growth mindset.